Welcome to One Brothas Mind, and I am KD Smooth. Today we will question and challenge popular information and views from a B1 perspective, while we expose the real facts you need. We do this to strengthen your logical, critical, and discerning thinking skills. Because in today's world, hard choices are mandatory and they come with consequences. So you need all the information. And at One Brothas Mind, we do this from a B1 Yeshua the Christ followers perspective. Now, if you're not ready, you better get ready with Katie Smooth at One Brothas Mind. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Katie Smooth back at you with a new report. I pray you all are well. Shalom, family. In today's report, we are going to discuss this issue on your screen. Pro-Palestinian protesters invade and brawl with so-called black Democrats at a private Detroit holiday party. Yeah. Pro-Palestinian protesters were protesting outside of a so-called black Democrat They were protesting at a holiday party, a so-called black Democrat holiday party, and the protesters decided to invade this holiday party with their protest, and some furniture started moving. So, with that being said, family, before we get started, make sure you smash the likes, share this report on all your social media with all your peoples, and be sure you're subscribed to One Brothas Mind, where we try to bring you the information, facts, and truth you need. Okay, family. I've been trying to warn y'all. Y'all can't say Katie Smooth here. One Brothas Mind has not been warning y'all. And this is another warning that these attacks on so-called black people here in America are coming. We're being targeted for some specific reasons by a variety of groups. Okay? This is just another example. All right? And because of that, family, as I've been trying to get you to understand, you're going to have to make a choice. I'm specifically speaking to the so-called black Americans, foundational black Americans. You're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to make a lot of choices. Okay? I prayerfully hope that you make the choice to align yourself with Yeshua HaMashiach only. No one else. No one else. Okay? Because being connected with a part of or any other group, or affiliated with any other group in any way as we move forward, family, is going to get you caught up. And ultimately, even for those of us that align ourselves with Yeshua, that's ultimately going to get us caught up too. But the difference is, we being aligned with Yeshua HaMashiach in Scripture, we will have our own, if you will, defense system, our own defender as long as we are following Scripture only, okay? But in all of the other ways that we can affiliate ourselves or align ourselves with different groups or systems here in this world, it's going to get us caught up. Okay? It's going to get us caught up in various ways by various different groups. When we're not the issue, or whatever the issue is, we didn't cause it, we got nothing to do with it, they're still going to target us. There's a reason for that. I'll get to that in a moment. Okay? So, as it says in Scripture on your screen, choose you this day whom ye will serve. You cannot serve two masters. Gonna get you caught up. Okay? All right. Also, I've been trying as often as I can with this thing going on over in between the Palestinians and Israel right now. I've been trying to warn so-called black people, you have to be aware of your surroundings. These attacks are coming almost out of nowhere. It's not really out of nowhere, but you at college, on as a student on college campuses, malls. You could be just in the grocery store, at churches or regular schools, or any type of gathering of so-called black people. You got to really consider whether or not attending or being a part of those gatherings is safe. Or it's going to be safe. I mean, you can never 100% know if a protest is going to jump off at or around the gathering that you're at, that you decide to attend or what have you, but you got to put some extra thought into what's happening right now. Okay, and I'm going to share with you several examples of these attacks that are starting to happen. We are being targeted. We got nothing to do with it. Okay? With that being said, I'm going to share with you guys a video clip of what occurred at this. Give me just a moment. Let me get it lined up for you right. What occurred at this Democratic Party in Detroit. Let me show y'all this clip, and after this clip we'll be right back. Let's get it together here, make sure I got it ready for you. All right, this is a clip of what happened at this Democratic Party, this holiday party. This was a private holiday party that some Democratic elected officials and others decided to have. Some pro-Palestinian protesters decided to protest outside of this party, which they have every right to do outside. But they took it a little bit further. So let's check out this clip here, and I'll be back. They're coming into this holiday party, and here in a moment,
nobody likes the way he's positioned himself on the war. On the genocide, actually.
Yeah, as you can see, several of the so-called black attendees and officials or security, they're they're asking these protesters to leave. They're applying some level of force or pushing or to help motivate them to leave this private facility. As far as I know, according to reports, this was not a public event. But this is what's happening. You saw that one sister there. Keep an eye out for her. Yeah, family, it's going to get a little worse than this. Let's continue.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. To the goal or go to grip. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, Stuart. Stuart, are you a police officer?
No.
They're just trying to stop the war, man. That's all. They're just trying to stop the war. Get out, man.
Yeah, family. That's a thing. That went down. That went down at this event here in Detroit. Let me try to get it situated one more again for you. Just a moment, family. One more again. Let me try to get it together. Oh, there. All right. Give me just a moment. Bear with me, family. One more moment to try to get it queued back up. Here. Fuck. Getting it back together for your family. Okay, we'll go again. So yeah, this went down at this private, according to reports, private so-called black Democratic event in Detroit. And all of this happened. Yeah, they started, they just bum rushed the holiday event. They literally just bum rushed the holiday event. Okay? Now, you heard somebody make the comment during this clip that, well, they just here just trying to stop the war, or, you know, protesting and that type of thing. I disagree. Okay? I disagree. One of the reasons why I disagree with that statement, family, is you have to really examine what's happening here. Okay? On the surface, you might say that they're protesting Democratic elected officials that have been in support, or at least not showing publicly that they're against the war in support for Israel. On the surface, you can say that. Okay? On the surface. But it's deeper than that, in my opinion, family. They could, if that's all it was, they could go to any Democratic event anywhere and do a protest. But they specifically picked this one out, knowing full well it was going to be a so-called black Democratic event. Why is that? Yeah. I think they did that on purpose, family. I'm sure they did it on purpose. Okay? I'm sure of that. Why? I'll explain that in a moment. But understanding so-called American politics, you understand that the Democratic or so-called black Democratic elected officials, they are just puppets for the Democratic Party. And these pro-Palestinian protesters, they already know that. These, whatever so-called black elected officials that they're here to protest against, they know those so-called black elected officials have no power, no political power whatsoever to enact or help enforce change politically here in America. And in this example, change in regards to America's political and governmental support of the state of Israel. They know these so-called black officials, elected officials, don't have any power to do anything about that. They already know that. So why even protest? I mean, these are so-called black Democratic elected officials that don't even do the things for their own community, their own so-called black community that we need. They don't do stuff for us. So, you know, they don't stand against this government to fight for what we need, their own people. So they definitely are not going to stand against the government in any way for anybody else, right? These Palestinian protesters know this. These pro-Palestinian, they know this. So why are they so intent on protesting so-called black elected officials, or in this case, Democratic officials? Yeah, there's a reason for that. With that being said, family, you gotta make sure you take that detail, that nuance into account. Okay? And you keep asking yourself, why are they doing that? Well, one of the additional reasons why they're doing this is because here in America, other groups' issues always take priority over so-called black people's groups, or black Americans' issues, I should say. Whatever other group you want to name, their issues, their concerns always take priority over ours, so-called black American or foundational black Americans, specifically the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. Okay? So they keep this in mind. These pro-Palestinian protesters invaded a private event with at least majority of transatlantic slave trade descendants in attendance. They went there to forcefully express their political view at a private event. Why? Because their issue, something that's happening with their group, with their people today, as I said, is more important than the ongoing issues with the so-called black people in this event. Did you pick up on that? They basically walked in this private event and was like, hey, y'all stop this. Y'all need to focus on what we need. Not what y'all need. Or whatever it is y'all doing. Not that. Y'all must focus on what we need right now. Did you catch that? Again, other groups' issues always take priority over so-called black people's issues here in America. Don't miss that part. In addition, here's another report I did here recently at One Brothas Mind. Please go to One Brothas Mind if you're interested in this report. Go to One Brothas Mind YouTube channel, click on the live tab, and you'll scroll down, you'll see this report. Here's another example of other groups' issues taking priority over our issues. Okay? Other groups' issues literally taking priority. So you have, in this report, you have the resources and the assistance that's being given to the immigrants, right? And at the same time, Chicago, New York, all these other cities are giving all this assistance to non-citizens. They got us like this on, without resources, in need of help. We can't go to those shelters. We're not sleeping in the police station. They ain't told so-called black people we can do any of this stuff. They're not putting us up in hotels. They're not doing this stuff for those of us so-called black people that need this assistance, that are homeless. They're not doing this stuff. And then this report, I show you where many homeless black people in Chicago are actually sleeping on the train in 15-degree weather. Because they're not allowing us to come to these shelters or sleep in the police stations or building tent encampments or things. They're not doing this stuff for us. And we're citizens. Again, other groups, issues always take priority over our needs and issues. Okay? I'm literally answering your question, okay, as to why this pro-Palestinian protest group chose to come and invade this so-called black democratic holiday party, private party. Okay? The issues take more priority. Okay? So with that being said, family, you have to understand that as foundational black Americans or descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, especially here in America, we have no group allies. I'm going to repeat that. We have no group allies. Yes, are there individuals that are a part of this group or that group or this group over here of people that are allies, are helpful to our issues and supportive? Absolutely. Without question. But as groups, we have no group allies. No groups throw their support behind our issues as a group. Because if they did, most of the issues that we still currently have and have been having for over 400 years in this country, we wouldn't be still having these issues if other groups put their full support behind and in the efforts of correcting the wrongs of this satanic country. Do you see that? Again, may they be individuals here or there? Absolutely. You may have a friend in this group, a Hispanic friend, a so-called Jewish friend, an Arab friend, whatever the case may be. Yes, absolutely. They cool people. They're good people. They see what's going on or research and learn what's going on, and they stand in support. They'll protest with us. They'll do what they can. Salute to them. But as whatever group they belong to, those groups are not our allies. Okay? And in fact, take it a step further. All of these other groups of people, as groups, not individuals, as groups, they feed off of our suffering. Many of you are familiar with the example of affirmative action. Affirmative action really didn't help us. Even though that's what it was written and supposedly designed to do, it didn't really help many of us so-called black people here in America. But it helped white women out. It helped other minority groups out more so than it did so-called black people. Do you see that? So that was a way that they fed off of our suffering. Just one example. There's many examples of how that happened. So don't forget, we have, as so-called black people in America, descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, foundational Black Americans, we have no group allies. So that's another reason why this pro-Palestinian protester group came in, not only to push their issue or say their issue and need is more important than the needs that we've had for over 400 years, but they were angry and have been angry at so-called Black people for us not just throwing our support behind them and their issue, their cause. So much so that they are willing to come in and get some brawl started, get some scuffling going on, have some furniture moving about it. About y'all should be supporting us. Wait a minute. We got nothing to do with your specific issue. And we're not going to benefit in any way if we do pick a side in your issue. I mean, and really, should we pick a side? No, it's not our issue. We don't have a dog in this fight. We got our own issues that we still need to attend to, like reparations, getting our reparations, getting us a hate crime bill, and etc. We need to keep working, pushing, and staying focused on the issues and needs and attaining what's owed to us. That's where our focus is. And that's where it should be. Especially when there's things happening in the world that we don't have any direct connection to. Do you see that? So again, all of these groups at different times are angry with us, mad at us for initially saying we're not supporting their causes, their issues, like they supported ours. But have they really supported ours? Being that we went through 400 years of oppression and slavery in this country and are still going through it? Yeah. I mean, the Jewish people are angry at us for not taking their side. Palestinian and other Arab nations are angry with us for not taking their side on this particular issue. But if you're watching the news, you're paying on what's going on. You got the Asian community. They just did took a stand against affirmative actions in regards to college admissions and things like that. They mad at us, and they got it shut down. We tried to warn them. Hey, y'all benefit more from that than we do. So, God, hey, do you? But y'all shouldn't be doing that. Now they got those laws revoked for college admissions. Now they scared. They seeing. Wait a minute. We're not getting in like we used to. We're not getting accepted. What's going on? Try to tell y'all that y'all benefited more from that. Y'all was feeding off of our suffering. You got many in California. These are Hispanic elected officials in the back rooms after they have been elected, talking about they're in support of the so-called Black community. They're in the back rooms laughing, calling our children monkeys. Literally. Are they in support of our issues? No. Of course, top right corner, white community as a group, no. They're the ones that have enslaved us and oppressed us for over 400 years. You even got new groups popping up like the ABCDEFG, HIJKL, the alphabet groups popping up. They're angry at us because we're not supporting their issues. Do you see all this happening? All after and angry at so-called black people. In fact, many of these groups, because of their anger, they're actually hunting us or targeting us. Like this pro-Palestinian group targeted this so-called Black Democratic holiday party, private party. They went there on purpose. Right? They're targeting us. Why? Why are they after us? All these groups angry with so-called black people. Because we won't so-called support their issues, which we don't benefit anything from their issues. They benefit from our issues and our suffering. Always had here in America. So why are they targeting us? And as far as this Palestinian Israel issue, we're not a part of this issue. We ain't got no pum-pums, no boom-booms that we are contributing to this situation over there. Why are they targeting us? Why are they so angry at so-called black people? I'll give you another reason. It's because they want our moral capital. In America, the only group that has moral capital is us, so-called black people, the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, the foundational black Americans. We're the only ones that have moral capital here in the United Snakes of America. Okay? We're the only ones that have moral capital. Every other group of people in this country do not have the moral capital that we have because they've all enslaved us or oppressed us or participated and are culpable in our oppression. They've fed off of us as a group, not individuals, as a group. So as we protest, when we stand and fight for things, we have the moral high ground because we haven't enslaved or oppressed any of these people. We haven't been, as a group, taking, stealing, oppressing, doing nothing to anybody. It's been done to us. So that's one of the additional reasons why when we protest, when we march, it has the power that it has to even inspire protests and marches worldwide because we have the moral capital. So all these other groups, they want to tap into our moral capital so much so that they will actually attack us and target us trying to get it. Do you see that, family? They will literally attack us and protest against us and target us. Talk bad about us, dog us out, because we don't just give them and share with them our group's moral capital. Do you see that, family? Yeah. You say, well, where are they doing that at? Well, I already showed you what happened here in Detroit at this so-called Black Holiday event. Here's another report I've recently done. Again, you can go to One Brothas Mind, go to the playlist tab, or actually the live tab. Just scroll down, you'll see this report. This was, I think this was in Chicago. Some Israelite brothers was on the sidewalk in the area they normally set up in, just sharing scripture. How many of us choose to do. Free to do. Public space. And a whole gang of pro-Palestinian supporters again come with their protest down the street. And in this report, I show you they came and attacked some so-called black people, some Israelites just over there reading scripture, talking about scripture. Another example. Here in Katie Smooth's stopping grounds here in Naptown and Indianapolis, here on your screen is a Hebrew Israelite school, small school, right? And a pro-Palestinian protester lady, literally, you see the blue tarp on the, she literally drove her car, crashed her car into the side of this school. And I show the details of what happened here in this terrorist attack. And the police was talking to the lady. They didn't just, she literally did a terrorist act, and they had her standing in this exact same parking lot, just having a conversation with her. Like, why'd you do this? And she was explaining, you know, she was against what was happening over in Israel. And according to her, she saw our Hebrew Israelite symbol, the Star of David, on the front of this Hebrew Israelite school, specifically, y'all, in the hood, in the black neighborhood. This was not in a Jewish neighborhood anyway. This is smack dab in the middle of the east side, right? But because she's ignorant to the truth that our Star of David symbol was actually stolen from us by them people over in Israel, and they've been using it, she thought that this Hebrew Israelite school with our symbol on it was in support of the people that call themselves Jews. She went and just crashed her car and committed a terrorist attack. Again, go to One Brothas Mind. Go to the live tab, scroll down, you'll find this report where I go into more detail about what happened here. We're being targeted for attacks and terrorism, family. Another one. This is literally people that call themselves Jews at one of their meetings, and the lady in the white in the middle of your screen with the glasses on says that the major problem with Israel is with young generation of the black community. Why? Well, we got nothing to do with this issue. Why are they targeting us? Why are we the problem? Y'all attacking each other over there, or, you know, we not involved in that. But they're sitting around literally telling us we're targeting you, so-called black people. You're the problem. So, again, family, with all these examples, and there's many others out there that are being reported that are popping up, I keep stressing, family, we must be aware. Be aware of your surroundings. Colleges, malls, grocery stores, church, schools, events. You need to think 2-3 times, not twice, about whether or not you want to attend a lot of events that you may normally attend, because they very well could end up becoming a target of some group's protest or terrorist attack. Literally. I mean, the so-called black people at this Democratic holiday party event, they didn't expect nobody to come protest and come bum rushing it up inside their private event. Did they? Nope. But it happened. So I want to go over a couple excerpts of what occurred at this event, family. This is coming literally out of the Jerusalem Post. Okay? It's an article published on, let's see here, December 20th out of the Jerusalem Post. Just a couple of things I wanted to highlight, family. It reads, pro-Palestinian demonstrators, they called disrupted a Democratic Party holiday gathering in Detroit last weekend, calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. When the protesters refused to leave, a brawl ensued, leaving Bobby Johnson, a local party activist, hospitalized with 2 black eyes. Not one, y'all. 2 black eyes, according to the Bridge, Michigan, a local news site. Peep this, family. No arrests have been made. Okay? Now, let's pause there for a moment. When we, so-called black people, protest stuff, when we out in the street, on the sidewalks protesting stuff, they send the police with all the little wagons, with all their protest gear out on us, and they start moving on us, attacking us, pepper spraying us, and arresting us, right? But have you noticed other groups get to protest and these things don't happen to them, do they? I digress. But Detroit police are investigating the incident. Really? Well, we'll look into it. We'll look into it. People got assaulted at this event. So-called black people. But the police are investigating. The annual holiday party for Democratic activists in Michigan's 13th congressional district began as usual at a local restaurant. Then Congressman Shuri Thanader, who represents the district in the House of Representatives, rose to speak. After about 30 seconds, as you saw in the video clip, a woman with a megaphone disrupted the event, loudly calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. Alongside her were 20 to 30 other protesters, Bridge, Michigan reported, who refused to move when the event organizers and the restaurant managers repeatedly asked them to leave. They were being disruptive, and they were not supposed to be there, Jonathan Kinlock, who chairs the local Democratic Party, told media. The owner asked them to leave. I asked them to leave. They refused to leave, so they were removed. They were removed from the place that they had no business and no legal right to be in. A melee broke out when the party guests attempted to force the protesters out of the restaurant. It started, Sterling Jackson said, a guest at the holiday party. I couldn't believe they were doing this and nobody was doing anything. Before long, a protester punched Bobby Johnson, a local community leader, in the face. Valeria Berea, one of the protesters, says she was shoved against the bar. Another protester's glasses broke amid the chaos. Bernice Smith, 90 years old, was filmed hitting protesters with her cane, an act she insists was self-defense. That moment and much of the fighting was captured on cell phone cameras and uploaded to social media. Kinlock posted a video to X that shows, or Twitter, that shows activists and party guests shoving each other and shouting in each other's faces while Christmas music plays in the background. And a handful of activists shout, "Ceasefire now." So again, no arrest. I'm not going to read this whole article to you, but there was no arrest. It's just investigating. Now it goes on to say once the protesters were removed from the restaurant, the protesters proceeded to bang on its windows, an act that Smith denounced to the press. They had their boots and their shoes banging up against the windows, and you could imagine how that sounds and how fearful the people were, especially the senior people that was inside. So I keep telling y'all, family, you must be aware of your surroundings at all times now. We're being targeted by a variety of groups. And not only is that going to continue, but it's going to increase. All because these various groups are trying to, they want our moral capital. The moral capital from our suffering and fighting against our oppressors. Do you see that, family? So, again, here at One Brothas Mind, we don't have a dog in most of these fights. We're not involved. We got nothing to do with it. We got no power, no say, no nothing. So, again, to my people, so-called black people, we should be following 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing, because to this you were called, so that you may inherit a blessing. As I've said to you guys, don't get caught up when you're out and about in arguments and conversations about all of these other worldly issues with other groups of people. We have no dog in the fight. I mean, that's what they want. They want us to pick a side. So whatever side we pick, which is always going to be the wrong side, they can attack us even more. That's what they're really after. That gives them reason in their mindset. When you take a side of an issue that you're not involved in, that gives whatever side you didn't select a reason to come and attack you. You with them. Like, here, bang, bang, boom, boom. No, stay out of it, family. It's not our issue. At least not on the surface. Stay out of it. We gotta just mind our business. Avoid, when we know there's protests happening here, there, avoid those. Walk around, go around. Also, as you see now, we have to think 2, 3, 4 times about going to our own events, our own gatherings. Right? Do we need to go? I mean, really? Or should we be doing this? Should we be doing this? Watch the brother in the back. He just sliding to the side. Sliding over, getting out the way. Because he know it's about to go down. Twinks down. I ain't got nothing to do with this. Just slide out the way. We ain't got to offer no commentary, no argument, no discussion. Hey, I don't pay attention to that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's what we should be doing. Getting out the way. Staying out the way. Okay, family? So, in addition to that, what we need to be doing as we get out the way, stay out the way. And as I've shared with you, they're still targeting us. We need to be doing what's on your screen. And family, it's at this time that I'm going to share with you a word from our unofficial sponsor here at One Brothas Mind. Shout out to Professor Black Truth. You should definitely visit his YouTube channel for information you need. And at this time again, we're going to share a word from our unofficial sponsor here at One Brothas Mind in regards to sliding to the side, not involving ourselves in this issue or any other group's significant issues, but realizing that they're still targeting us and attacking us. This word.
A word from the official sponsor of Black Empowerment, Power Tools. There's no telling when something's going to come up, so make sure you carry your power tools at all times. You never know when you're going to need to bring the hammer down, or when you'll have some trash that needs to be blown away, or some obstacle that requires cutting down. Don't get caught empty-handed. Keep your hammer close by. Keep that leaf blower at the ready. And always carry your steel. Power Tools. Because no matter what your day job or side hustle may be, there's no excuse for not being ready to put in some work.
We must always be ready to protect ourselves and defend ourselves and our lives, family. Always. Because we're being targeted. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. We're being targeted, attacked. Terrorist acts are being directed toward us, and we ain't got nothing to do with none of this stuff. Do you see that, family? There you have it, family. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this issue in the comments. Let's if you disagree, respectfully explain why in the comments. Let's discuss it. Because again, my contention here at One Brothas Mind is they didn't go protest this event and invade it because it was about protesting elected Democratic officials. No, they went there because it was a so-called black people's or black officials event. Again, attempting to demand our moral capital. And this concludes this broadcast from One Brothas Mind. We thank you for joining us. And as a part of the new black media, B1 choices are mandatory and being on code is required. But never fear, Yeshua HaMashiach, Yeshua the Christ, is with you always. Shalom.